Hey, and welcome to the Jessica Paul podcast. I'm your host, Jess Paul, actress, manifestation expert, and mindset coach. And I'm here to share with you all of my secrets on confidence, success, and the magic of manifestation. If you're ready to dive in deep and see more success in your career, more money in your bank account, and more love in your life with a whole new level of freedom, then you're in the right place. I'm letting loose on everything you need to take back control of your life, up-level your mindset, and tap into your manifestation powers. I'm so excited that you're here. Hello, gorgeous souls, and welcome back to the JP podcast. It's day 4 of this 5-day series that I'm bringing to you all. And today's episode is all about embodiment, embodying that woman, that version of you, that bad bitch, freaking successful, abundant, amazing version of you before you actually become her. It's like such a fundamental, important part of the manifestation process. And my God, I go in this episode on some of my own embodiment stories and how actually they massively helped me manifest some of the biggest things into my life. It's really this whole embodiment process is really difficult because you genuinely have to be that person before you actually are. And a lot of it is about really, really working through this weird feeling of kind of you're lying to yourself, but you're not, because your higher self knows who you truly are. So we go deep into this episode, and I love Embodiment Week, and I absolutely love Embodiment Week inside my academy as well, because guys, we just go in on all of that bad bitch empowerment. So I hope you'll enjoy this episode today. As always, send in your feedback. Take a screenshot, tag me on your Insta stories. Let me know how you're all finding it. I hope you're enjoying these 5-day series. And of course, for those of you asking questions again, all of the links for the academy, for you to book on your call for the academy, they're all found in the show notes. I'll link it all in there. So any more information you want, it'll be all on my website, jessicapaul.co.uk. You can go and check it out. And I will chat to you all soon. But anyway, without further ado, I'll let you listen to Embodiment Week. Lots of love, guys.
Guys, who is here with me? Put it in the chat if you're joining me live. And again, if you're joining me on Catch Up, as always, hashtag Catch Up. I want to see who's here with me, vibing with me tonight for day 4 of the 5-day manifestation challenge. Guys, we've only got 2 days left. Who's with me? Put it in the chat, give me a wave, show me the love. Hey, Rebecca. Guys, so excited about tonight. Obviously, you've had a little dance just then. Like I said, had to turn the music off because I can't repost. I can't repost any of these videos if I use music for copyright issues. So, but there's a reason why we were on here dancing at the start of today's challenge. Hey, Gabs. Because it all relates to what we're chatting about today for day 4 of the manifestation challenge. I am super excited about today's live because it's basically something that I go on about all the time. I'm always showing up as this version of me, and it's another very, very important stage to the manifestation process. So guys, put it in the chat, how are we all doing? So obviously, in fact, before we even get started, I need to celebrate with the ladies who have actually already signed up to the academy. So freaking exciting. So actually, like I said, I'm going to see if I can do what I did yesterday without messing technology up. And again, post in here the link for you all. Ooh. Here's the link again to the page all about the academy if you've not yet read it, even for those of you on catch up on this video. Go and follow that link. You can read in depth about everything to do with the academy, and you can sign your name up on this list, because remember, you get an offer this week if you sign up on that list before tomorrow, guys. Before the doors officially open, then you get a special juicy discount. And we have already had ladies sign up, which is so exciting. I've been jumping on calls with you guys over the past week, and it's been magical. It's been so amazing to see so many ambitious women ready for their next level. Today's live is all about embodiment. Right, so we have been talking about all of the different stages to manifestation, to how to make it a reality for you, how to make it second nature for you to be that powerful manifester. And we've spoken about the fact that you need clarity first and foremost on what it is you even freaking want. Then you need to be able to dive into that belief system and really match the beliefs to your desires. Then we've talked about energy and how you've got to match the vibe to your desire. So, you know, clarity, beliefs, energy, all of this work. And so much of that work is that shadow work aspect that I was talking about. You know, you've got to dive in deep and it's not necessarily easy, right? And then we come into this stage of embodiment. Now, this is after you've done all of this work. This is after you have really, really fixed those beliefs about yourself and the world around you, and you have raised that vibration, and then you can go off and embody the woman that you want to be, right? So this is the woman that is fucking successful. She is abundant. She has all of the wealth, all of the success, all of the love in her life. This is the woman, this is your higher self that you are now stepping into. Right, wanted a dose of positivity, yes. So you're going to get that here. So this is the stage, guys, where we go all in. And I call this my bad bitch phase. And I'm always going on about this because really your inner bad bitch is just that most confident, empowered version of you that comes out. That's what a definition of a bad bitch is, right? So when I use that phrase, that's what I mean. Just the most confident version of you. And we only become her when we have laid all those foundations first. But we still aren't quite where we want to be in terms of it's not like we are that bad bitch sitting in a 5-bedroom mansion, like sipping on cocktails, like just loving life, like that bougie lifestyle. We might not be at that stage yet. We might not have those tangible manifestations, but embodiment is about becoming her before you actually are her, right? Who's with me? First of all, I always do this, I've not done this yet. Give me a hell yes if you're ready for Embodiment Week. Embodiment Week, Embodiment Live tonight. I love it because when I get to Embodiment Week in the Academy, we go all in. It's absolute fire in there. The energy is like insane. And that's what I feel like I'm doing right now. No, I'm not in my Academy right now. Give me a hell yes in the chat, guys, if you are ready for tonight's live, all about embodiment, right? So, yes, getting all the hell yeses in now. Fantastic. So guys, that's what embodiment is. It's about becoming that bitch before you even are her, right? So just as an example, right, when I was feeling really quite low, when I was first working through this work and becoming that version of me, I just had to really, really throw myself into this next level confidence. But at the same time, I was still feeling slightly nervous. I was still feeling anxious. I had to really work hard at this version of me. So, I had to throw myself into the sorts of things that she would be doing if I was her today, right? So, for example, when I first started, I've said this before, showing up on a live like this to a community and leading seminars to people on lives like this, I would have run a mile from. I would have run a freaking mile from only 2 years ago, right? And one of the biggest embodiment moments of my life was when I actually came on a live and I said to myself, this is what this version of me would be doing right now. She'd be doing lives every single day, right? And that was really when I was working through my confidence. I have got so many freaking embodiment stories that I can tell you. I'm going to dive into them today because some of them are absolutely mental. Because this is the thing, guys, it's going to feel crazy to your ego self when you start to step into the shoes of this woman because you're not her yet, right? So your outer reality isn't reflecting her yet. So the other thing with that is that it's going to confuse a lot of other people, right? So basically, in this stage when we are stepping into the shoes of this woman, we have to really tell our ego to shut the fuck up, right? Because your ego is going to come in, that self is going to come in and it's going to go, what are you doing, right? What are you doing? This is not how you live your life, right? And we have to really, really work on fighting through that fear so that we end up walking, and I love this phrase, walking with the fear, not in it, right? We don't have to be in fearing mode. We can walk with it. We can know that that fear is always going to be there when we start stepping up into our next level, but we don't have to let it consume us, right? And this is really what we have to think about when we get to this embodiment stage of really becoming this woman before we are this woman, is we've got to go, do you know what? It's going to feel scary. It's never going to feel easy. And we have to actually just get over that and be like, do you know what? If I keep waiting, it's not going to get any easier. So I need to be able to hold my hands with this fear and make friends with it rather than fearing the fear, if that makes sense. So that's a huge part of this process. So, but we have to, in this stage, we have to actually first find clarity on who this woman is, right? Who is this higher self? What does she do? Where does she, where does she live? What does she eat? What does she wear? Right? All of these things that we have to really think about are, who that bad bitch version of us actually is. Okay. So that's all part of it. And, again, that's that clarity part that we go through in the academy to really figure that out for you. But then once we know who she is, we have to start becoming her. You know how I said yesterday, if we keep affirming things in the future, so if we keep saying, I will have this, I'm going to have this, rather than I have this, I have it now, and you're affirming it in the now. If you're affirming things in the future, it's going to stay in the future, guys, right? So if you are kind of looking at this bad, observing the fact that you know what this bad bitch version of you is, but you're not actually being her yet, you're not being her, then she's always going to stay in the future, right? So again, it's about figuring out who she is, and it's about being her right now. What changes can you make today that is in alignment with that highest bad bitch self, right? Who's with me, guys? Give me a hell yes in the chat if you are with me, so I can see all of your wonderful comments coming up. So there's that certain level of discomfort though, guys, when we get to this point. And actually I have a really, really powerful and I call it my confidence coding hypnosis within the academy, because like I was saying before, hypnosis is so important because it gets to the root of this subconscious. And if we really want to step into this bad bitch version of us, then we have to have rewired those beliefs around your confidence. So I've got a really powerful, and it's over half an hour long, hypnosis that helps you sit into that, right? And that helps you really start to tap into your bad bitch, basically, which is amazing. Hell yes, I am that bad bitch. Yes, you are, Rebecca, you are. So, I'm going to tell you a few of my embodiment stories so that you can kind of get an idea of what I really mean about embodiment and how you can be doing it today. And again, guys, these stories are going to maybe sound a little bit dramatic, but they don't have to be as dramatic. You can just do it in very, very small ways as well, right? But the point is, if you keep waiting on stepping into this version of you, she will always be in the future. So it's about fighting through that fear, holding hands with the fear, walking with the fear right now, and becoming her today, right? So that the universe can actually give you all of the things, manifest all of the things that she would have, right? So one of my stories is about money mindset, okay? And I think a few of you might have heard this one from me before, but for those maybe watching that don't know me that well, this is quite a funny story. So when I was working through my money mindset and really working on that abundant version of me, that wealthy woman that I wanted to step into and become, right? So as you all know, I had no money as an out-of-work actress, and I was working part-time as a care assistant, and it was not the bougie life, guys, right? It was not the bougie life. I will tell you now, some of the jobs I had to do as a care assistant, and by the way, it was one of the most rewarding jobs I've ever done in my life, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't wasn't making me feel good every day. It was tiring me out. I was burning out. I, was not getting paid. I was getting paid pennies, basically. And I was not happy, right? So one of the things for me was that I just really wanted to make this money so I could have that life of freedom. So once I'd done all of the kind of belief work around it and this energy work around it, now it's time for me to step into her shoes, right? And I've got to ask myself, what does the wealthy version of me do? How does she react? How does she show up? What does she wear, right? And I asked myself all these questions. And one of the things that I did when I was first I'd not made a big amount of money at this point. I'd made a little bit, but not like a big chunk of money. It was when I was setting up my business, and I just walked into the bank, and I sat down with a consultant in the bank, and I said to this guy, I was like, I'm going to come into a lot of money soon. It's happening, basically. I was affirming it. And he looked at me and he was like, okay, is this inheritance? What is this? And I was like, no, I've just started a business. And he was looking at me like, are you crazy? Are you mental? Right? You're starting a business. The first year of business is supposed to be the hardest, right? And again, there's a belief that we've been conditioned with. The first year of your business, guys, if you're an entrepreneur, by the way, or even if you are a creative that's just a freelancer, the first year of setting anything up doesn't have to be the hardest. That's just what you've been taught, right? That's what we've been taught, right? So he's sitting there in front of me going, are you crazy? And I'm going, no, it's happening, right? So I said to him basically, hey, Hara, seeing your comments coming up. So I said to him basically, I need to know the best savings account to set up because I'm going to have a lot of money. Anyway, he sat there, he entertained it, he helped me set it all up. And guys, within 4 weeks, I'd made £5,000 in my bank account, right? So that, again, that sounds quite dramatic, but I was so certain in that moment. I was so embodied as that woman in that moment. Because that wealthy version of me, she'd have no problem going and sitting in front of a consultant in the bank and saying, oh, help me with my finances, because I've got so much money, right? She'd have no problem doing that because that's her. So I had to go and do that before I had the money. And it did feel weird. And this is what I mean by fighting through the fear, because of course it feels weird. It feels weird to you. It feels weird to the people on the other side of things going, are you crazy, right? Guys, one thing about this work is that you are always going to be called crazy, okay? You are going to get so many people call you crazy. I know so many people that I used to go to school with that look at some of the work I do now and all the rituals I teach and all this gorgeous manifestation work, and they're like, she's crazy. But I'm the one sitting here with an abundant bank account and successful career and all the love in my life, right? So there's something in it. You guys, I don't need to preach that to you guys. You guys know because you're here for a reason, right? But, you will always be called crazy. There's always going to be people who call you crazy. And I don't know whether I've mentioned this on this challenge, but I do bang on about this all the time, is that there's two types of people in life. You're either a visualizer or you're an observer. And most of the time in life, people are observers. They like to look around at their reality and go, well, this is happening, this isn't happening, this isn't happening, so that's just life, right? That's just life. I don't have any money, I don't have the career, I don't have that relationship, so what can I do, right? Whereas you've got to get so good at becoming a visualizer. And if it's going on in your imagination, it's going on, right? It's going on. That's your reality. You've got to make your imagination your reality. Doesn't matter what anybody else fucking thinks, right? It doesn't matter if you can't see it physically. If it's happening in here, it's happening, right? So our job is to become that visualizer. But like I said, when you do this embodiment work, what you're doing there is you're taking that imagination and you're actually putting it into the physical. You're actually going, okay, so now I've I've done all of this internal work, let's embody it on the outside of things. And that's when it starts to get scary for your ego self and it starts to get confusing for everybody else around you, right? Again, guys, going back to when I first started my journey and how I was saying about showing up on a live video, I had so many people in my life back then be like, Jess, are you okay? Like, are you having a breakdown? Like, what's happening? Because I suddenly overnight, obviously it wasn't overnight, I'd done a lot of inner work, but it appeared to those people that overnight I'd gone from like anxiety ridden panic attacks to bad bitch showing up online, leading these workshops. People were like, what is going on, Jess, right? But that is all of the inner work I did. That's how deep I went with it. And that's the results that people saw. So let me just read some of your comments coming up, guys. Rebecca, I get called crazy for doing this too, but I'm quickly learning that doing this kind of work is best for me, not listening to those people. Exactly, right? This is what this community is about, guys. This is why I've created this community, so that you can have a safe space to be that woman, right? To like actually fully embody this spiritual journey and not be called crazy for having crystals in your bra like I do. You know, like, we're all magical beings, and we should never have that suppressed, right? If this is you, fucking do you, right? And this is why I only hang around with people that vibe with me on that level. Hara, when I tried to explain to my friend how her mindset affects her reality, she looked at me weird too. Yeah, you see, like, one thing you should know, guys, right? And maybe like this is for, maybe if you've got like friends in your life that you really want to get involved in this work too, or maybe if you are a coach yourself, right? One thing you need to know is that words don't teach, right? Only experience teaches, okay? So me like leading these workshops with you, like, it's not going to be teaching you, it's going to be inspiring you, but the only way that you can actually learn is by taking the action, right? That's the only way, and guys, we're going to go in on that tomorrow, but, you know, that's the only way we're going to learn what this really means. So like, sometimes when we try and preach to some people, they're not ready to hear it, and like, that's okay. And there's people in my family even that are still like, I don't get your business, Jess. Like, I appreciate that it is doing really well, but I still don't get it. And that's fine. And I just choose, I choose who I want to spend that energy on talking to about this stuff. It's very, very important for your own energy. But like I said, for this embodiment, it gets very confusing for those people as well, okay? So, what are the stories? So I have another story, guys, about embodiment, and this story actually bagged me my TV job, my Amazon Prime TV job with James Corden, literally going from like not having any work for ages as an actress to literally like lying in bed with James Corden in a bed scene with him, being like, how did I end up here? Well, it was because of this manifestation work, guys. So again, for any actors on here, like, this is a great story for you guys. So I was auditioning, and actually I was just on a trip to London. I went to London to go and see some friends because I'm always back and forth to London, and I was walking down the street and I actually got stopped by a guy, very nice guy. He actually asked me out, which was lovely, very confident of him, clearly attracting the confident people. Now, I use this as an opportunity, guys, because this was a complete stranger who'd come up to me. And I just said to him, and he basically said, oh, you know, what do you do? And I entertained it. I didn't shut him down, because I never do that with people. And I went, oh, you know, like, I'm an actor. And he was like, oh my God, what have you been in? And I was like, oh, loads. Right? At this point, I hadn't had a TV job, guys. Like, I was a musical theatre artist that wanted to move into TV. Guys, for those of you that aren't in the performing career, just stick with me on this story because it relates to absolutely every area of your life, okay? So I hadn't had a TV job, but he was like, oh, what, have you been on TV? Oh, yeah, loads. Oh, anything I would have seen. Oh, actually, I'm filming something at the moment. Like, it's going to be big. Like, you're going to want to watch out for it. Oh, what is it? Oh, you know, I can't tell you at the moment, right? And I had this whole conversation with this guy, embodying the life that I wanted to live before I even had it. Guys, that week, I got a call from my agent telling me I've got a job. Telling me I got my Amazon Prime job. I got my first TV gig, and it was, again, and that job seemingly came out of nowhere. It was something I auditioned for literally about 2 months prior, and my agent was even like, I don't even know where the fuck this has come from. It came through vibration, guys, okay? And again, you know, this that is like a very, very like deep embodiment story to do with my acting career, but this relates to any area of your life, right? Guys, put it in the chat. Who else has any kind of stories like this, if you do have any stories like this? But, you know, so I've got some really powerful embodiment stories that have literally changed the course of my life, like changed the game for me. But the fact is, I couldn't get to that point until I had done this internal work, right? I wasn't like, there is a big difference, guys, between confidence, like true fucking empowerment, and cockiness, right? Now, the universe knows, because the universe is fucking powerful. The universe knows, right? You can't trick the universe in this. So you can be like going up trying to embody this woman, but if you do not believe it, if you really, really internally do not believe it, it will come across in the wrong energy, okay? So you have to do this inner work before you can even get to this point of embodiment, right? So these are just some of my stories, but you know, for me, it's like such a powerful process, and this is why I'm always going on about tapping into this inner bad bitch. Rebecca, this is so amazing. I love that you just put it out there. I need to embody my dream life more. Yeah, you know, listen, like I said, the whole point of this embodiment bit is like really being able to fight through the fear at the same time, because it is going to be crazy, right? Actually, like, a good tip for this is like, do it with strangers, because like they're not gonna fucking, how do they know? How did this guy know off the street? He wasn't to know, like, and in a week it's already happened anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Like, you have to kind of get through that kind of feeling of, am I lying right now? And again, that comes down to belief, that comes down to your energy, right? So this is what embodiment is. Who's with me on this, guys? Who's enjoying this and enjoying this chat on embodiment, and who really feels this too? Who really feels like they're ready to step into this woman, into this bad bitch version of themselves? Because the other thing is, guys, is that, you know, going off that point of that, like, people are going to be a bit confused by it when you start stepping into this self, like, you know, you're going to be judged either way, and this is such an important point. We get so scared often about going for stuff and really taking that action and stuff, because we worry what other people are going to think about us. In fact, I've got a whole podcast episode on this. Guys, if you've not listened to my podcast yet, get over there now, go and subscribe. I've got a new episode coming out tomorrow morning, which we go in deep. Oh, you're going to love it. Basically, get over there and subscribe, because I have so many juicy things come out every single week for you all to help you on your manifestation journeys. But you know, like I was saying in this episode, you're going to be judged either way, right? Whether you are showing up as that confident, successful, abundant version of you or not, you will be judged. Right? You will be judged for being the failure. Like, people will say, oh, you're not doing anything. Or you'll be judged for being the one that's out there, too big and bold, right? Either way, what would you rather be judged for? I know I would rather be judged for being fucking empowered and successful, right? So you've got to ask yourself that question in those moments too. And it really is just a case of fighting through that fear, okay? We do so much work around this in the academy because, like I said, it's my speciality. I fucking love diving into this work. And we go really, really deep into, and like I said, we've got that whole hypnosis, but we go really, really deep into figuring out who this woman is, and then holding you accountable to actually go and do it. It's one thing about me as a coach, guys, is that I do not let any of my students get away with not taking the action, right? Like, that never happens in the JP world. Like, I will make you go off and fight through that fear and fucking do it, because that's how we see the results, okay? And there's a lot of, there's a lot of coaches out there that teach you that amazing inner work, but if you do not do that final step of embodiment and action, right, then the manifestations aren't going to flow in, okay? So it's so, so important. Hara, I like what you said about get past the fact you might think you're lying if you embody the version of yourself who already lives your dream life. It helps a lot. Yeah, exactly, because these are just, again, these are beliefs that we have to rewire within our subconscious, because, you know, yes, the ego self, to the ego self, it's a lie. But to your higher self, it's not, because to your higher self, that's who you always fucking were, right? That's who you always were. I was always that TV actress, that successful, abundant actress. That's who I was born with. That's the way I was born. So to your higher self, it's not a lie. But to your ego self, who has been grown up with this conditioning, and again, actually, guys, like I go in deep on ego self and higher self in the academy, because there's a lot you need to know about your ego that's very important. Notably, do not like hate on your ego, because there's a reason why it's there. But like I said, to your ego self, it's a lie. To your higher self, it is not, right? That's always you. Same for every single one of you here listening to this now. Every single person in the world, you were all born, like I said in one of the lives that I did this week, you were all born as that pure source energy. That pure source energy that already has everything you ever desire in your life. And all that's happened is you've been layered and layered and layered up with beliefs about yourself and the world around you, with negative energy that has stopped you from having all of that stuff. The process of this work is about unraveling all of those layers and just literally opening yourself up again to have it all. But it's all there waiting for you, right? Which is so magical. So guys, like, it's really about stepping into that woman. This is what embodiment is. Stepping into that version of you before you are that version of you. Fighting through the fear in that process. Not giving a fuck what anybody else thinks about you, because everybody's gonna judge. This world is full of judgy people. I don't have time for that, right? I never judge, because firstly, it's an icky energy to judge someone. Like, why are you wasting your energy judging someone? Secondly, like, you know, it's not gonna, like, it's bad vibes. Like, the karma's a thing for a reason, right? But there are people out there that will judge, and not necessarily in a harsh way, but there's also friends and family that will judge just because they care about you, and because they're like, are you sure that's the right decision? Because again, we've like been taught to question ourselves, right? When I first set my business up and I started going really public with some of my beliefs, I got a lot of hate and a lot of backlash, guys. I really did. Just going back to what I was saying before about people calling me crazy, I got a lot of hate. But you want to know something else? Some of those people who hated on me back then actually DM'd me, slid back into my DMs a year and a half later and said, how did you do it? Right? And this is the thing about this work. If you stick with it, if you fight through that fear, if you stay in your track and on your lane with this, and you don't let anybody else's energy affect you, you are going to see the results quickly. Before you know it, all those people who wanted to judge you before are going to be running back into your life going, show me how to do it. And I've had that. I've actually had people come back into my life who hated on what I was doing before, who really like coyly were like, okay, can you show me, right? Because the results speak for themselves. But the results only manifest, remember what I said before, these tangible, physical, material manifestations are a byproduct of what is going on in here, which is what the whole point of this work is, the whole point of my academy, all of the teaching, all of the coaching I do, right? So guys, let's get into, anybody have any questions about anything that I've said so far on this live? Are you all still with me? Put hell yes in the chat if you are all still with me and feeling this embodiment week. Again, if you're on catch up, put a hell yes in the chat if you are feeling this. I want to know that you're all getting involved. And guys, so again, let me keep an eye on the time. Fabulous. So getting into today's task then. Okay, remember, I'm picking the winner of this challenge tomorrow, guys. So even those of you that are on catch-up, still just get stuck in, because I am going to be assessing all of the comments, everything. But to get into the task, what I love to do when I am embodying this version of me, what a great way to embody this woman is to put on a bad bitch playlist, right? Put on a bad bitch tune and look in the mirror and really just see that version of you there. Really just see her and embody her in that moment, okay? Also, like, putting on a bad bitch tune and dancing around is like one of my go-tos within my like morning ritual, because it gets the energy moving around your body. It's just a perfect thing to be doing. But that's why we had the music on at the start of this live, guys. Now, what I want you to do, and I'm gonna put in this on this challenge is I've got a playlist, my own playlist on Spotify, and it's actually funny because Spotify have done their like yearly kind of like assessing of what you've been listening to, haven't they, today? And actually, like my music aura, that's what they said on Spotify. My music aura is confident and empowering. Pretty much fucking says it all, really, doesn't it? Of course it's confident and empowering, right? So I've got a whole playlist, it's called the Bad Bitch playlist, that I listen to on repeat. I listen to it when I go to the gym, I listen to it when I'm in the shower, I listen to it when I just want to like really ramp up that energy myself, get that energy moving, and I'll dance around the room like a crazy ass woman, because that's who I am, right? So what I want you to do for today's task is I want you to add in your tunes to that playlist. You can add in on Spotify your own tunes. I want you to go ahead and do that because I want to see all of your amazing music taste in there too. I'm really vibing with I've again Fifth Harmony, just I love it, but of course Little Mix, like all the time. Little Mix of my guilty pleasure, guys. I should put in the chat, what are your guilty pleasures for these bad bitch tunes? Put it in the chat. Getting all the hell yeses in the chat. Yes, guys. What are your guilty pleasures for those like really empowering tunes that just get you going, that get the energy moving, that get you feeling pumped and empowered and ready to take on the freaking world? What are they? What are those tunes? Put them in the comments now for me so I can read some of them out. So guys, like, this is the task. I want you to head over to the link that I put in this post and go and add in your tune, and you can add in as many of you as you want in there, but you can also then use this playlist yourself to go and listen to all the time to just get yourself embodying that confident, empowered version of you, okay? So this is like your go-to playlist that you can use on Spotify. Hopefully by the end of 2022, our Spotify like yearly like thing will all be saying bad bitch, empowered, confident, because that's what we all deserve, right? Pink, yes, she's a bad bitch, she really is. Amazing. So that's the task then, guys, is to add in that song. And remember, the bonus entry for you to win this prize is for you to tag me on Instagram, tag your song on Instagram, actually put the tune up there on Instagram, and tag me with the hashtag manifestation challenge. Again, for those of you on catch up, it is all relevant to you. All of this task stuff is relevant to you too, regardless of whether you're catching up on this like the day after or whatever. I am watching who is getting involved in these tasks and making it happen. So what's everybody saying? I love a bit of Ariana, of course. Yes, Olivia Rodrigo, she was up there on one of, you know, when it was on the Spotify list, it was saying what's your most listened to songs. She was up there for me. Doja Cat, yes girl, of course. I really like K-pop. Oh yeah, I've heard about K-pop. I don't actually listen to it that much myself. It brightens my mood and makes me feel confident. Well, love that then, girl. If it brightens your mood and makes you feel confident, then that is a vibe. Like, that's what you need to be listening to. So, great. Guys, I'm so glad that you have been here with me live for this embodiment live. Like I said, it is literally my go-to thing to talk about, because we all deserve to feel this confident and empowered. We all deserve to feel it. And, you know, I always used to kind of look at these people that were really in this version of themselves, that were really owning who they were and being fully empowered. And I used to like get these kind of twinges of jealousy or like or like, I don't know, it was a projection of what I was feeling inside that I was kind of putting onto them, like, oh, why are you being so big and out there? But actually, there is, as I say, a difference between empowerment and cockiness, and you can really feel the energy. You know, like, have you ever had it if you're walking into a social situation and there's two people in a room that are both showing up in very big ways? One of them you're drawn to, the other one you're like, I do not vibe with you, right? That's because it's all energy. And this was me for so many years. Like, I, as an actress, had been taught and conditioned, show up, just be confident, just be more confident. That's what I always got told. But it's not as easy as just putting some like shield over you and being like, I am confident. Like, if you don't actually feel it inside and you have genuine empowerment inside you, then the energy is always going to be off, and people feel that energy, right? People feel it, and people will just look at you and go, you are insecure, right? So that is why this work is so important, because in order to embody this bad bitch and this powerful version of you, you've got to fucking believe it, right? And you all deserve to. And that's the main thing here, right? You were born as this source energy. You all deserve to feel empowered and confident and successful every single day, right? I deserve to show up this way every day, and so do you. So this is such a powerful live. Guys, have you all enjoyed this live tonight? Are you all enjoying the challenge? As I say, it's been so lovely to do. And like I said before, we've already got ladies signing up to the Academy for 2022, for January 2022. And I just feel, I don't know about you guys, but I really feel like 2022 is going to be the year for so many people after coming through such a weird time with COVID, having like so many ups and downs. It's feeling a bit wobbly again at the moment, but I just feel like 2022 is going to be the year where people go, fuck this, I am going for it now. And if you feel that way, put a hell yes in the chat for me, because I just know that it can be for every single one of you, and for myself, right? Like I said, I practice what I preach. I'm always going through stages of up level, and I can tell that 2022 is going to be an even bigger up level for me too, right? And if one person can do it, so can you, right? Hell yes, I'm getting all these hell yeses in the chat. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Rebecca, love tonight, loving the challenge. I've never felt more empowered. Girl, this is why I'm doing it, and I'm so happy that you're feeling that way. Right? Hell yes. Guys, so thank you so much again for showing up live with me, and for those of you on catch up, thank you. Hara, I really like your advice today. Embodying felt difficult to me and your advice was helpful. I'm so glad, Hara, and thank you for hopping on here live and, you know, spending your time with me this evening. Really great work, guys. So again, just as a little recap, we've gone through clarity, we've gone through beliefs, we've gone through your energy, we've gone through this embodiment. Tomorrow, it's all about juicy action, right? And I touched upon it today, and it really is like, it ties into embodiment, because obviously embodiment, you're taking that action to be that woman, but also action in lots of different ways as well. So we're going to be chatting all about that tomorrow. So I'm going to join you again live at the same time, 6 p.m. British time, guys. And we're just going to be diving in, and tomorrow is the last day of the challenge, so hopefully I'll see you all there. Sending you so much love. Go and check out the podcast, go and check out the Academy page, go and check it all out, have a little stalk of my website, if you're new to me, of course, and I'll see you all tomorrow at the same time. Lots of love, guys. Mwah. Just make sure I've got all these comments, I've not missed anything. Again, if you've got any questions, as always, just post them in here, because I'll always be checking. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming along tonight for this live. And again, guys, I know that tomorrow is a Friday night, but it just shows your commitment. If you want to come turn up live with me at 6 p.m. tomorrow night, that shows commitment to yourself, and that's what I fucking love to see. Anyway, guys, I think I've checked them all. They're all good. Sending you so much love, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Mwah!
Thanks for tuning in, guys. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend who you think would love it too. And if you want to let me know how you found it, just screenshot this episode, add it to your Instagram story, and tag me at I am Jessica Paul so that I can throw all the love right back at you. And of course, subscribe, hit those 5 stars, and leave a review to show your support and to keep the good stuff coming. Sending you so much love and gratitude from your girl Jess.